Hey, what's up, fantasy football ballers? It's a big night for the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge. It's the big reveal, the bracket reveal, where we know we started with 48 teams at the beginning of the season 12 weeks ago, and now we're down to the top 12 teams in the greatest Panthers fantasy football league. That's hard to say, a fantasy football league. But there are 48 teams, uh, winners every week, all Panther fans, and they are all now, these 12 have made it, and they are fighting for $300 and a Vernon Butler jersey as the number one prize in the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge. I'm here with my buddy Mel Mayock, who actually, I'll just call you the chosen one, and he wants to be the chosen one with a W when it's all said and done, I'm guessing.
That's right, Professor. Wednesday night, buddy. How you doing, man? I'm out here chilling in Sacramento in a 4-day road trip, heading home tomorrow. But let me just say, man, props to you. This is our third year, right? 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I came to you and I said, dude, we need some type of Panther fantasy football league. You came up with the format. You made it all work with the 48 teams, 4 divisions of 12, the super teams rolling up together, man. So you're the mastermind behind this whole thing, and it's just gotten bigger and better every year. And this year, it is just off the hook. So props to you.
Right now, sometimes it gets tiresome when you have to do all the organizing. Like, I don't even have a team. Like, my name's on 4 teams, but I don't play any of them. Like, right. I gave them over to a commissioner. So sometimes it can be taxing when you're sending out, and I know nobody wants to hear us whining about how much work it is when they paid to get in. So it's not whining, but it's taxing, and you go, all right, I hope this was all worth it. You hope everybody's having a good time. You hope that people are happy and it's competitive. And you hope that there is an excitement that continues. And it's nice in the third year to have that excitement to start off. You know, I mean, we almost sold out the damn league in the first night, it felt like. Yep. And then the matchups, some real parity in this league.
It was some excitement this year, no doubt.
And that's what I was really happy about. And you're going to find out, man, a little controversy, a little Donald Trump controversy, in my opinion, in who made it in. You'll hear why. I'm just going to put and hopefully you guys will be able to see it pretty well. It might be a little small on your end. Mel, are you able to see that at all?
I am, but I got to tell you, my dinner order is calling me on the other line. Right. So you take it from here, brother. Hang on. All right.
All right, so what we're going to do is the way that we determined who made it into the final fantasy football challenge bracket, right? 12 teams. Each league, there's 4 leagues in the challenge. Each league sends 3 teams. Now, you know, when you play in a 12-team fantasy football league, they split it up into 2 divisions. So there's an East and West division. Right. So what we did is we took the number 1 seed, whoever won their division, the East and the West, they're going to make the bracket. So there are 8 division winners and 4 wild card teams in the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge. Now, out of the 12 teams, the 4 teams, each league sends a number 1 seed. So the team out of the 3, right? So, for instance, if you think about it, the Muhammad League had 12 teams. They're going to send a winner from the East half of their division to the playoffs. They're going to send the winner from the West half to the playoffs. And then they're going to send a wild card team who has the best record in both divisions that didn't win it. Now, out of all of those teams, the team that had the best record, right, out of the 2 division winners, essentially, is usually how it comes down. The team with the best record and the most points, they're the team that gets a bye. So just to give you an example, on the Muhammad League, the 3 teams that were to make it, Team Keekley won the Eastern Division with an 8-4 record, right? Then that was the West Division was won by Shady Brady's Deflated Balls at 9-3. So those are the two division winners. Out of those two teams, or actually, this was an interesting one, Mel, and you look like you're back here.
Yep, at least momentarily.
Okay, so I was trying to explain how we pick the teams from each division that make it to the three teams. Now, in Muhammad League, what you had is the East winner had an 8-4 record. The West winner had a 9-3 record. But it was actually the wild card who came out of the West Division with a 9-3 record. So they had a better record than the East winner.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, and so what you get though is the West 9-3 wins with points. He gets the bye. Shady Brady's Deflated Balls gets the bye. They're the number 2 overall seed in their half of the bracket. So going on, let me see so that was, let me make sure I can see what I'm doing. Shady Brady, Deflated Balls, where are they? Is it backwards on your screen or can you read the words?
No, I can read them.
Okay. All right. So it's not reversed here. I can't, it's reversed. Let me see if I can do this. Where are we at? Shady, but all right. So that means we go down to, on the other side of this half of the bracket was the Rucker League. So it is Muhammad and Rucker, Mills, and Minter are how we break them into sides. So the Rucker League, Mel, coming in strong, the number 1 overall seeds in this side on the right side of the bracket, the chosen one, 10-1-1.
Hey, let me just humbly say the ball bounced our way this year so far.
Yeah.
We've had some good. I mean, you don't get the 10-1-1 because you're awesome. You get the 10-1-1 because you get lucky a few times, which we did. So let's just keep the good luck rolling.
Yeah. So if you look also from the Rucker League, the other two teams that make it are the winner of the west side of that league was at Keep Pounding. This is surprising. I think this is the controversy. This is like the presidential controversy of popular votes and electoral college. He gets in with a 5-5-2 record.
Yeah.
Beat out two teams that were 6-6 in his side. And then if you go to the other side of the bracket, there were teams better all over, but they had to play in the league with you in your division, and also the wild card winner, Team Hazelwood. I think this is 3 consecutive years. Team Hazelwood, 8-3-1, makes it as
team.
Yeah, he makes it to the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge for 3 consecutive years. Came in second place one year. That's pretty impressive, I think, to be in the top like that.
For sure.
So if we jump over to the other side, it's Mills and Minter, and you're looking at Bortle Milk Biscuits as the number 1 seed. They get a bye, 10-2 record, right? Also, that's my buddy Carl, and he has been in the league all 3 years. Not in the challenge necessarily, but he's been with us from the start. That's cool too when you see people sticking around for that long. I think that tells you what a little something is. That we got a lot of repeat players, so people are enjoying it.
For sure. A lot of returning players, lots of them. So it's good to see. A lot of fun.
So coming in, so from the Minter League, the 3 teams that made it were Bortle Milk Biscuits, won the East, Make Americam Great Again.
Best name in the league.
Yeah. They make the West with an 8-4 record. And this was a tight – you guys had a tight league. It wasn't your league, sorry. This was Carl's league. Panthers Storm actually is a wild card. Started out like 6-0, 5-0 or something like that, 5-1, and finished 8-4, makes a wild card run, but could not win a division. I think they had to play in the same division as either one. I don't think they had enough points or something. Maybe it was played in Bortle Milk Biscuits. So you're looking at this. Is Panthers Storm is going to have to Make Americam Great Again, because They are the number 6 seed or the number 5 seed in the league. All right, so then that's the last league we got is Mills.
Yep. Keep going, brother. There's my dinner. Hang on.
All right, so the winner of the Mills League is from the East Division. It was Here's My Number, Khalil Me Maybe, with a 7-5 record. The winner of the West side of the Mills League was the Chattahoochee Hoochie Coochies at an 8-4 record. And then the wild card was the Music City Riot at 8-4 record. They're the number 6 seed in this. So that's why what we get here is we're talking about the Music City Riot playing Here's My Number, Khalil Me Baby. Maybe. Should have been. I like Khalil Me Baby, but I don't know why.
That's a great name, man.
So what we got here's, I guess now those are all the teams. All right, so I've gone through all 12 teams of who made the challenge. Here are your 4 number 1 seeds, and these people all have a bye. The Chosen One, Shady Brady's Deflating Balls.
My first year making it to the finals or to the big
awesome.
dance.
That's awesome. Also a 3-year player. So,
yes, sir.
And we make him pay every year, even though it's his website.
The professor don't play. He's a miser, folks.
I'm telling you, I might not even mail him his stuff. All right. The Mills Division winner was the Chattahoochee Hoochie Coochies. They get a number 1 seed bye, and Bortle Milk Biscuits gets a number 1 seed bye. So that leaves us with this. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 games this week in the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge, the first round of the playoffs, because of those bye. All right, another thing I think some people may be interested and confused. What we had to do is that the league that you play in an ESPN is set their playoff. You know how every league has its own little playoff?
Yep.
That's unrelated to the C3 Fantasy Football Super Bracket Challenge, right? Yep. But that doesn't start till next week. We have to start. The reason we start the playoffs a week early in this league is we want to finish in week 16 because you don't want to have week 17 being a deciding week and all, you're sitting people.
Right.
And then the other reason that we start a week early is because we have 12 teams making the playoffs, and we like to give that bye because we're trying to replicate a feeling of real football, 4 divisions, and how we're putting it together on each side. So that's the idea behind it. So if you don't know, folks, these are the 12 teams, and it starts this weekend. Starts tomorrow.
That's right.
Now, you should still be competing in your leagues. You have to. What you need to do is remember, you've got to start your starting lineups in your own fantasy football league. And then what I'll go do is every week on Tuesday, I'll jump in there.
This is that taxing part that we're talking about.
Yeah. So and all I got to do is pull on my phone and look at winners, standing points. So what I'll do is for instance, on Tuesday, I'll go and I'll look up the points that Panther Storm had. And then I'll look up the points from Make America Great Again. Now, these teams may not even play in the same 12-team league, right? That's why I manually put it in. So whoever has the highest score there will win and move on. And that's how we decide.
And we've seen it in years past, right, Professor, where they could actually lose in their head-to-head matchup in their individual league, but win in this type of bracket in advance, right?
That's an excellent point. All right, so what we're really concluding here so far is that you got to keep playing to the end. Even if you're not in the playoffs,
keep pounding.
It's super challenge. Right? Yeah, you need to try to be winning your league or your division because you never know if a nice something may arrive in the mail one day. It might take 6 weeks, but sorry. I got priorities, folks, and the guy that wins the whole dang challenge is going to get their stuff first.
There you go. Right on. Which, by the way, tonight we got to announce last week's contest winner. We'll do that after we get through this playoff bracket, but we'll do that.
All right. And I think that's about it. So my tips for you guys is remember this. Number one, that the playoffs start tomorrow night. If you are on a bye, like, you need to manage your team to the end of this, even if you're not in the playoff challenge. Now, again, like Mel said, you may actually lose in your league matchup, but you'll need to check the email that Mel sends out. You'll need to go to the website, click on the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge, and I'll put the updated brackets up on Tuesdays as well. So I'll go put this bracket up there when we're done with the show, so you'll be able to watch that. We'll be putting screenshots up, too, in those emails of the teams. And you know what we're really going to do is, and this is what we got to do, and I'll get on this maybe late tonight or tomorrow, and that is I'm going to get screenshots of all the teams playing this week, put them on the website so you can see, in case you're playing a team that's not in your league.
Right.
You can see who they got. You can follow that and watch it.
This is the fun time of year, because these teams they're very likely playing against teams that have the same players as they do.
That's a kind of cool aspect, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you might have Ezekiel Elliott, and you're playing a team, and that's been your advantage all year. But now you're playing another team that has Ezekiel Elliott on there. So it really comes down to how balanced is your roster throughout to advance you. Pretty cool.
And it kind of, think of it this. Everybody goes, well, how can you have that? Or not everybody. Some people, trying to compute, how can you have two teams with the same players playing? Think of this. When we're at this point, it's kind of like daily fantasy football.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Everybody's got certain roster spots. They had a draft earlier, so you may have the same quarterback, you may have the same defense, and I don't know how much that plays into your strategy. I mean, do you just try to cancel out everybody?
You got to play your studs and let your chips fall where they may. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sit a stud because you're playing a stud, but maybe you try to cancel everybody out and just put. What if you had, and this is like really verging on impossible, if you had the same exact team, like minus a kicker.
I would not be surprised if the championship game comes down to where, like, the three studs are the same on both teams. Something like that, right. And then the difference is the bottom. You're maybe a flex or two, and then your defense and your kicker.
Yeah,
right. That's why it's important. Even this time of year, monitor the waiver wire. Pick up the best defenses. Pick up the best kickers, because you never know. I mean, like today, I went out and I picked up a Christine Michael for Green Bay. I put him on my bench because you never know when that's going to pay off towards the end.
Yeah, because we have 3 more weeks.
Right.
Of how do you get week where you get this week, then you get, I think it's 3 weeks, and it ends in week 16. So what are we in? Week 13 now, going to 13, 14, 15, 16. 4 weeks. 4 weeks of fantasy football. So you need to be thinking down the road at this point.
For sure.
All right. Who's this winner? Winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, chicken dinner. This week the contest was the best defense. I forget the name that you gave it. Do you remember by chance the name of the contest? It's for the best defense, most points by the defense.
I don't remember the name of it. The name of the contest.
But the essence of the contest is who scored the most points by their defense. And this week, the New York Giants defense had 25 fantasy points, and there were 2 teams in the 48-team league that had that magic number. Had the Giants as their defense. Those 2 teams were Still Wentz to Bed by which is the Pope, and then Shaq Lives Matter, which is Bailey. Both of those teams had it, but it came down to the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker was who gave up the lowest number of points to their opposing team. So the Pope actually only gave up 115 points, where Bailey gave up 150 points. So the Pope is the winner of this week's prize. Do you know what that prize is for this week?
Christmas ornament, I believe.
There you go, Christmas ornament. Panthers Christmas ornament. So the Pope.
It'll be there by next Christmas.
Christmas, we didn't say what year, but Christmas.
I gotta go ahead and send it. Yeah, we didn't say what year. This is the C3 Fantasy 2016-17.
That's right.
Fantasy football challenge. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta get that out. I gotta mail some stuff. You know, it's a crazy time of year for me because the fall semester is always, I don't know, is the busiest semester for some reason. And then you get all the holidays and things, and then you get football. The website's pumping. We've been doing our podcast, which has gone nonstop. We have done the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge plus this podcast, where we have probably done over about half or over every week. So, and then what else we got? We got the Professor and the Preacher podcast. So it has been, now I'm on 2 radio shows a week. You know,
don't mention how many kids do you have?
3.
Right.
I know, man. And we had, and my wife started a business on. It's just crazy. It's fun. I like to stay busy.
There you go.
All right, Mel. That's it. So, dude, you need to go and you need to go eat your dinner. This is the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge or Fantasy Football Podcast, where we recapped the Fantasy Football Challenge bracket. Mel, we got a Professor and the Preacher episode we're going to be recording tomorrow night. We had a fantastic – I went and listened to the podcast this morning, and it was really good last night.
Was it?
Yeah,
we had some debate, and we had some controversy there last night. People talking about it today. That was good.
It was a good show. Like, if you go back to it, I think we hit on a ton of important things facing Panther Nation and really a multitude of different opinions. So thanks a lot, Mel, for everything you do for C3 every week, and good luck in those playoffs.
Thank you, brother. Have a good night. And for all you out there in C3 land, thank you for being a part of this, making it great. If you got any questions, hit me or Tony up. We'll be happy to explain things for you as best we can.
Word up. Keep pounding, folks.